Hi everybody, I'm going to come out and do something a little weird for me. It's something that I don't normally do, and that is to ask you to please not do something with your kids. And this is not something I normally do. I remember many years ago hearing about those mommy wars. I don't know if you've ever heard about that, but that just refers to when moms tell other moms that they shouldn't be doing certain things with their kids. Like whether it's, nursing for a period of time or sleeping with their children and their young children in their beds or when to potty train or different things like that. And I generally don't get into it because I figure that people are doing the best they can with their kids with what they know. And so I generally don't say, I think you should do this, that, or the other thing. And I'm sure I've made mistakes with my kids too. And so I just don't want to be all judgmental about that. However, last week, something came out about people that paid for higher SAT scores or made it seem like kids were more athletic than they were or something. This came out with, I know USC is one of the schools involved here, and there might be more, where parents did something where they would pay a lot of money in order for their kids to be accepted to a school. That's not even what I'm asking you to not do with your kids. I think that we all know, well, obviously not all of us know, but most of us know that that's just not cool to do because some kids work really hard to get into schools, and that's cheating the system, and that's probably very humiliating right now for the parents. And so I actually feel really sorry for those parents. I think that they did something that was clearly a mistake, clearly wrong, and I hope that they have some kind of justice come in their way, to make amends for that. But I also feel like they're probably publicly humiliated, and I feel kind of sad for them. But that actually didn't even surprise me when I heard about that in the news because of what we do with kids in general. And that is that we're in a culture now where it seems to me that in many aspects, we push our kids so very hard. And then what I see is the other end of that. I get kids coming to me, and I have my whole life. I've been a teacher in high school and in college, and now I'm a pastor. And so ever since my whole career started, I have had so many kids come to me and basically say the same thing. My parents don't accept me. My parents don't like the person that I am. My parents don't like what I've chosen to declare as a major in college. And I really love fill in the blank. I don't know, athletics or being a chef or taking good photographs or whatever they really love and that they're good at. But my parents really love, and fill in the other blank, law or medicine or business, or they want me to make a lot of money or something. And so I'm seeing kids so much that are depressed, that are pushed really hard. And now it's come to faking SAT scores and buying their way into schools. Of course, that doesn't happen in most cases. Many kids go to wonderful schools because they have the grades and the SAT scores and the gifts and the talents and the abilities to get in. And that's great. Both of my parents have PhDs. My siblings and I all went to universities. We're from a family that highly values education. My husband is a college professor. And so it's not like I don't value education. I wouldn't even be one of the ones to say not all kids should go to college. I think that college, at least some elementary college classes or intro college classes, are important for everybody, like ethics and critical thinking and world religions and just some basic classes. I think they're good for everybody. Even if somebody goes off and is a mechanic and might not need a college degree, I think a few classes are helpful. So I'm not saying that college is bad or that we shouldn't encourage this in our kids. I think encouraging is different than pushing. So when somebody is a young child and if they have no unstructured time in their day, when they're just pushed from one activity to another, when as an elementary school kid or junior higher or high schooler, they have no time to think their own thoughts, to know who they are, no time to journal about what is interesting to them, no time to pursue their own interests, their own activities, their own friends. They have no time then to know what God has put on their heart to do and to become in this life. I believe that every kid is loved by God, made by God at exactly as God meant to make them, with specific abilities, interests, desires, and gifts to give the world. If they're given encouragement and love, if they're praised for their strengths instead of condemned for their weaknesses. I wonder about these kids where they were given a message by their parents that if you just pay a certain amount of money and deceive everybody, then everything will be fine. What kind of a message does that give kids? How about we encourage them to be who they are, where they are? And if that means going to a community college, if that means taking a year off and working and figuring out who you are, if that means the Peace Corps, whatever that means, let's let kids learn how to live with integrity, to be who they say they are, to not fake their way through life, and to not purchase degrees, honors, and awards. That is setting a kid up to lie, to deceive, and really to be depressed, and to find themselves in a pastor's office or a therapist's office saying, can you help me even figure out how to love myself, how to love who I really am? So please don't do that to your kids. Start them young. Teach them how to love the person that God made them to be. Have a wonderful day. Bye.